Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle way.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And finally, they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck. You accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive pardon, whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons
Yes,
is
it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he get a
about
pardon
this.
also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that
the
committee?
seeking of pardons is
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators thinking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Diablo, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Night.
Here I am, the one that you love, asking for another day. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet with incorrect thumbnails and all. Good morning. It is Thursday, the 6th of February, 2025. And programming note, we're not going to have a show tomorrow, but I might do one this afternoon because there's some things I want to talk about that I just need to get to, and maybe I'll even do Funky Friday on Thursday. Plus, Friday Q&A. Got to do that too. So I'll just figure it out. If I can't do it tomorrow, I'll do it in an extra show next week. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I got the coffee in the Big Daddy cup because I am the biggest of the Big Daddies. And yes, we have apparently some BBC action going on in the internet. Not the good kind, though. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, not that kind. So, got a lot to get to. Not a full amount of time, so we're going to just get into it. First, let's say hi to everybody. First in the chat. As is the norm, although not 100%, but today, yes, fulfilled his duties. Avocados Diablo gets the bell. Also, good morning, Tyre Alexander, the Scourge. Okay, very good. Good morning, Somnable Nation. What's up? Also, Avocados Diablo is here. I already said that. What am I doing? Oh, that distracted me. That thing up there. Jack, by the way, that's Jack Cochran's girlfriend. So here we go. Kara Soldier, what's up? Willie won't leave the show. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg. Good morning. Also, Aaron Meredith, what's up? Let's see. Let's scroll down here. Johnny Boomertech, yeah, that's my guy. Rick Ashbringer's here. Good morning. Also, good morning to who else? Gunfox61, the amazing administrator of the P-Dog Night Discord server, and prolific provider of news and hijacking the show again. We'll get to that. I got to give AD a credit, though, first. We'll get there. Attack Alpaca's in the house. Resolute Germ. GDSOB. And I think that's everybody. Oh, and my favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony. Oh, and number one is here, too. When do you get a sound effect after my name? Well, look, it takes time, and it has to be organic. And just for some reason that, the duh for AD just started happening, and there's different stuff. But here's the thing. Wait, what? LOL, no love for AD. No, AD was first. He got the bell, remember? But every day you tweet out the show, and maybe I should figure out what I'm going to use for a sound effect for you. The problem is a lot of my sound effects. Let's see. Is there any good ones that I could use? I can't. See, I don't want to use because I don't want to use this one.
Your life makes me sad.
That would be wrong, right? So, okay. And then,
I'm here to tell you right now.
No, I can't. Maybe wow.
Wow.
Maybe you get wow. Maybe, you know what? Because you do tweet out the show every day. So I think you'll just get a wow from now on. So here we go. Somnambul Nation.
Wow.
There you go. All right. By the way, we already have people putting dollars in the tip jar, and I gotta recognize the very first one though, which was Avocados Diablo, which made Avocados Diablo the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Which I thought was pretty funny because I made a note of this. Let's see, where do I have it here? There it is, right here. Because yesterday was Women and Girls in Sports Day. Remember that? And so Trump did this thing. He signed he signed I don't know an executive order. Here, let's see what he says here. He signed an executive order yesterday, right? This one right here. And by the way, Avocados Diabli, in this donation, I call it priority chat via Streamlabs. Streamlabs is the best place to do your priority chats because they don't take as much money as YouTube does. But, whatever. I'll take anything you guys throw in the tip jar. But I'm going to play this first, and then it'll make more sense of what AD put in this super chat or this priority chat. So here's Donald Trump signing the proclamation or executive order. Good morning, Rod Line, by the way.
Secret Service is worried about them?
Oh, well, that's funny.
We have to worry about them. We have big problems. Okay.
So look at just all these women and girls around him as he's signing an executive order.
What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor?
Trying to keep, males out of women and girls' sports. Okay, there he goes. He's signing
I want
it.
to make this a really good signature. Because this is,
his signature is terrible. I hate his signature, but whatever.
Now, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
So anyway, now who's he going to give the pen to? Oh, he didn't give the pen away. Anyway, so he signed a executive order saying that, to get certain funding or whatever, you can't have males in sports. To which Avocados Diabli made the very astute observation in this super chat. Okay, here we go. He says, watch Trump sign that executive order about men and women's sports yesterday. He was surrounded by little girls, and guess what? Not a single one got sniffed, groped, or in any way fondled, unlike the last 4 years. Oh, my God. So true. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat, the original viewer of the Morning Night Live. Tyler F's in the house. How you doing, y'all? And I said Ron Line, right? I think I did. So anyway, yeah, very astute observation. Nobody got sniffed. Nobody got groped. Nothing. It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, a lot of people are saying you've been waiting for a long time for this. So have I. It's so ridiculous, but here we are. Surrounded by female athletes, President Trump saves women's sports. So there you go. That's the big thing there. So I need to get rid of this real quick. Get rid of that. But also today, thank you, Gunfox61, dropping a Hamilton in the tip jar and another article. So we'll be. It says Dems are running scared of Doge as Doge run wild over their next target. Okay, we'll put that in the links. In fact, I'm going to go to all yours first because I need to get. I don't want to miss them. And one of them we talked a little bit about yesterday. And then also Avocados Diabli said in another super chat, another small bullet saying, no. Do not violate the sanctity of Friday Q&A by doing it on Thursday. Well, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Let's say it's a special Thursday edition of Friday Q&A. I mean, come on. What could go wrong? Anyway. All right. I've said hi to everybody. We're good. Okay, let's get into the news because there's a lot to get through. First of all, today is the National Prayer Breakfast, apparently, and President Trump, well, let's see what President Trump had to say at the National Prayer Breakfast. I wonder if they invited that Lutheran pastor, the woman, probably, I don't want to say I don't want to say the word that rhymes with bike, but if you want to type in the chat. Anyway, I wonder if she got to come to the National Prayer Breakfast. I bet you she didn't. Anyway, so it's the National Prayer Breakfast, and here's Donald Trump, some remarks there. Hello, Andrew Thorston and Unacceptable Views, my other favorite Canadian. Here's Donald Trump at the National Prayer Breakfast.
House chamber.
Oops, hang on.
Thomas Jefferson himself once attended Sunday services held in the old House chamber on the very ground where I stand today. So there could be nothing more beautiful than for us to gather in this majestic place. It is majestic, and reaffirm that America is and will always be one nation under God. At every stage of the American story, our country has drawn hope and courage and inspiration from our trust in the Almighty. Deep in the soul of every patriot is the knowledge that God has a special plan and a glorious mission for America. And that plan is going to happen. It's going to happen. I hope it happens sooner rather than later. It's going to happen. And it's his hand that guides us.
I always love when he goes off script. He goes off script and he just adds a little bit there. Oh, she was Episcopalian? Okay. That's disheartening because I grew up Episcopalian. Anyway, let's finish this off here.
Every single step of the way. And all of you and the things we have to do is to see the defining role that faith and prayer have played in the life of our nation. And you just have to look at this building and you can look at each other. You can really look at each other. It's defined almost everyone in this room. I think faith has been very strong with the people in this room.
Okay, so there you go. Donald Trump talking about, our current country's origins, right? There you go. So anyway, President Trump is talking about how God saved his life at the National Prayer Breakfast, and it's very solemn. And then he says, it didn't affect my hair. Can you believe it? That's pretty funny. Anyway, if you want in the links
Thomas
today.
Jefferson
Oh, no.
himself.
Shush. Sorry, sir. Shush. No. Anyway, you want to see the whole speech, it'll be in the link there, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing and take too long. Real quick, let me thank a few people and then we'll keep going on here. So I'll get the other thing. Thank you all the people who have posted the show on X or other social media. Of course, Somnambule Nation has done it. See, I did that for you. Thank you for posting the show. Also with a let's go or let us begin. Also Mike Savage with a let us go. Also Amazing Disgrace with this weird thing, whatever that is. We're getting to going. And Resolute Germ. Yeet. Okay. And then this one from Reaction Puerto Rico. Are you here? I didn't see you in the chat. Hello, Darren Root, by the way. And Andrew Thorsten. Did I already say hi to you? And then okay, and then there's Tyler F., Amazing Disgrace, Reaction on Puerto Rico, Resolute Germ, Amazing Disgrace, and Somnambule Nation retweeted the show. So thank you for doing that. We're going to unpin that message now. All right, and then also today, before I get into a couple into news items, it's Bob Marley's birthday. It's Bob Marley's birthday. So Bob Marley's trending, honoring Bob Marley's heavenly birthday with 3 little birds, a reminder to all, including myself, to stay positive, gone but never forgotten. I'm not going to play the music because, you can get in trouble for that shit. But anyway, there's also a link to Redemption Song Live in Dortmund, Germany in 1980. So anyway, yeah, the highest of all artists, happy birthday, Bob Marley. There you go. Real quick, thank you, Johnny Hellcat, dropping a deuce in the tip jar via YouTube Super Chat. It says, all glory to the Hypnotoad. Yes, that was the Hypnotoad. Good morning, Mrs. Wild Wolf, too. I don't know why. Something's wrong here with my shirt, and I had to scratch my armpit. All right, now, let's get out of some of the hijack articles out of the way real quick. First of all, thank you, Gunfox, who's been dropping Hamiltons left and right. Holy shit. And you are, oh, by the way, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar spots are up today for today because the other 3 for yesterday, but the 10 spot still puts you in first place for today. So to be the Streamlabs Superstar spots today, you're the highest total for the day. Anyway, so here, so let's start with this one. This is from Q Captain. Russian shadow fleet, liquid national gas carriers, calls in Oman signaling possible easing of sanctions concerns. I don't know what that means. We'll find out in the article. After more than 6 months at sea, a sanctioned liquid natural gas carrier, the La Paros, has entered the Omani port of Duqm. Is that like Duke Nukem? Is that it's a contraction? It was the first time that a Russian LNG carrier, part of the so-called Shadow Fleet, has entered a foreign port. Now, remember, we talked about this not too long ago because Russia the Shadow Fleet are all these Russian ships carrying, energy products, oil and liquid natural gas or whatever, but they're flying under the flag of different countries. And so to kind of get around sanctions. And so this is actually pretty interesting to me. Let's see. Around a dozen other Shadow Fleet LNG carriers remain scattered idling in waters of the Arctic, the Mediterranean, and the Pacific. The port call could signal the beginning of a shift in attitude by foreign ports towards sanctioned Russian LNG carriers. During the past 12 months, the U.S. State Department's Bureau of Energy Resources had in quick succession sanctioned hundreds of vessels and vessel owners. Much of the effort to restrict Russia's LNG capability was driven by Assistant Secretary Jeffrey Pyatt. He has since resigned from the U.S. State Department. Well, because there's a change of the guard, right? So with parts of the U.S. government bureaucracy in turmoil, vessel operators may be seeing an opening to test the current effectiveness of the international sanctions regime. The ports of Duqm did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Another Shadow Fleet LNG carrier in Russia's Far East also recently set sail again. East Asia, formerly Asia Energy, began steaming east last week and passed through Japan's Tsugaru Strait with its destination unknown. Destination unknown. Who knows that song? Anyway, during the summer and fall of 2024, La Perouse has been on standby in the Russian part of the Barents Sea with several other LNG carriers possibly awaiting cargo from Novatek Arctic LNG 2 project. Those efforts did not materialize as the U.S. began sanctioning all LNG carriers calling at the project. The vessel did not ultimately load product, and with the beginning of winter, La Perouse departed from the Barents Sea, heading for the southern hemisphere, rounding South Africa and arriving off the coast of Oman 2 weeks ago. It's unclear what the purpose of the vessel's visit to Duqm is. Satellite images confirmed the ship's arrival in port on February 4th. The UK and EU included La Perouse, previously called SCF La Perouse, in their September and December 2024 round of sanctions, originally owned by Russian operators Sovcomflot. Management has been transferred to a Dubai-based company. See, they're hiding they're they call it the Shadow Fleet because they're hiding them under other countries' flags, and that's kind of what they do with this one. So anyway, that's some interesting news. Dale Bazio, okay, Cupid crazy. Well, I didn't even know she's like, it's funny. If you go back and look at those videos, she looks a lot like Lady Gaga. Maybe she's Lady Gaga's mom or something, except she had the fish bowls over the cans. That was weird. Good morning, Special Cat Acid, on the honorable mention list of favorite Canadians. All right, and the second article Gun Fox dropped. Now, this is more of a
China is asshole
article. This one from Newsweek. China's neighbor eyes advanced U.S. battle command system. What? Wait, China? What? What does this mean? Oh, Taiwan? Taiwan, which faces the persistent threat from its powerful neighbor China, reportedly participated in a presentation of a United States Air and Missile Defense Command System. Oh, we talked about this a few days ago. Newsweek has emailed U.S. defense contractor Northrop Grumman and Taiwan's military for comment. The Chinese military did not immediately respond for a request for comment. Now, why it matters, China has long claimed that Taiwan, which is a self-ruled island and a security partner of the United States, is part of its territory despite never having governed it. Beijing also has stated that it reserves all options against Taiwan, refusing to renounce the use of military force. The U.S. required by the Taiwan Relations Act, which is part of its One China policy, to provide the island with defensive arms as well as to maintain its own capability to resist any attempts to resolve differences across the Taiwan Strait by other than peaceful means. And so there's what to know section here. Sean McClay, who's the director of the business development Northrop Grumman, revealed on LinkedIn last week that he presented the company's vision of a connected battle space with integrated battle command system, IBCS, to military officials in Taiwan. Now, the IBSC is an air and missile defense system that can integrate sensors and weapons that were never designed to work together into a single command and control system, allowing the operator to see and act on data across the battlefield swiftly. Lieutenant General Li Suzai-Tsang, I don't read those names very well, of Taiwan's Air Force Defensive Missile Command had productive discussion with Northrop Grumman's representatives on the value of systems such as the IBCS in strengthening Taiwan's defense, according to LinkedIn Post. So, is this provocative, or is it just more? Obviously, the United States has this agreement with Taiwan for this kind of stuff, and if they can use a missile defense system that integrates the current systems they have, that'd be pretty cool. That's some Iron Dome sounding shit. So there you go. So thank you, Gun Fox, for that one. Good morning, K-Shawl. And I think I got everybody. Hi, K-Shawl. What's up, Kristen? All right. Also, Gun Fox dropped this bomb in the, I shouldn't say bomb, dropped this beautiful article in the links today. And again, this was hijacking the show. If you want to hijack the show, drop a Hamilton and an article, and I'll put it on the screen. Boeing Starliner fiasco has now burned through $2 billion with a B. The company may sell parts of its space business as it struggles to meet its end of a $4.3 billion contract with NASA. Yeah, Boeing, this thing's been a fiasco. That's not a joke. Nearly 5 months after after an uncrewed Starliner undocked from the International Space Station, Boeing announced that it lost an additional $500 million from its troubled spacecraft, as the fate of its contract with NASA remains unclear. In its filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission on Tuesday, Boeing reported a $523 million in total losses from the Starliner commercial crew program in 2024. That brings the total amount of losses from the ill-fated program to a whopping $2 billion with the B. It cost overruns. That's just cost overruns. Holy shit. Good morning, Scribe Light. Dog Thrapple. Okay, so Boeing cited highly complex designs and technical challenges, and just that here's the other thing, and this is, I think I'm going to try to incorporate this into each day. Also, they suck. $2 billion customers cited highly complex designs and technical challenges, as well as schedule delays and cost impacts that increase the cost estimates for its programs. Under its $4.2 billion contract with NASA, Boeing retains full ownership of the Starliner spacecraft, while NASA acts as a customer. Well, if you can't use the thing, fuck that. Following Starliner's failed crude test to the International Space Station, the company reported $250 million in losses for the third quarter, covering cost overruns out of its own pocket. That's on top of the $125 million it lost in the second quarter. Boeing had forewarned that more losses were coming during the fourth quarter of 2024, and it turned out to be the heftiest bill of the entire year. Any opinions on if Boeing's going to survive? They're having so many problems with not just this, but also their just regular plane production issues and shit falling off of planes. Let's see. Boeing CST-100 Starliner launched on June 5th, 2024, carrying NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams for the spacecraft's first crewed test flight to the International Space Station. But the spacecraft had a hard time reaching the ISS. As it crept closer to the orbital lab, 5 of the Starliner's thrusters failed, and the spacecraft developed 5 helium leaks, of which was identified prior to liftoff, or one of which was identified prior to liftoff. The spacecraft remained docked in the space station for 3 months as teams on the ground debated whether it was safe to return the crew on board the Starliner. Well, they decided it wasn't, and that's why. Blank it out again, always. That's why Elon Musk had to come to the rescue. So, SpaceX. The spacecraft remained docked in the space station for 3 months as teams on the ground debated whether it was safe to return the crew on board Starliner. Mission teams eventually decided to return an uncrewed Starliner and bring back the 2 astronauts on board SpaceX's Dragon spacecraft. The spacecraft undocked from ISS on September 6th, leaving the 2 astronauts behind, which I'm sure their families were just thrilled about that. But better than to not make it home on Starliner, right? You know what I'm saying? So shortly after Starliner's uncrewed return, NASA put a hold on the Boeing spacecraft's upcoming trips to the ISS. Instead, the space agency announced that SpaceX Crew Dragon will launch its Crew 10 mission in March, followed by the Crew 11 mission no earlier than July, delaying Boeing CST-100 Starliner's next chance to flying to the International Space Station. Good. They need to get their shit together. All right. Moving on. What else we got here? Oh, one more from Gunfox. Then we'll get into the regular news. And this is related to a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today. So Doge has apparently now has access to the NOAA's IT systems, and they're reviewing a DEI program according to sources. The Department of there we go. The Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, which actually, that's not the official name of that whatever we call it, new agency. That's not even, I'll get to that in a minute. The Department of Government Efficiency is now scrutinizing the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the federal agency responsible for forecasting weather, researching and analyzing climate and weather data, and monitoring and tracking extreme weather events like hurricanes. Several sources familiar with the matter told ABC News. That's their favorite source, familiar with the matter. That means some of this article is made up. Anyway, at least one member of Doge has entered the Department of Commerce, the agency that houses NOAA, and was granted access to I'll just call it NOAA for now. NOAA's IT systems, according to U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen, Democrat from Maryland, so he's surely pissed off, who is the ranking member of the subcommittee with jurisdiction over NOAA. I'll just say NOAA. The Doge move was also confirmed by Representative Jared Huffman, Democrat from California, ranking member of the House Natural Resources Committee, Representative Zoe Lofgren, Democrat from California, ranking member of the Science, Space, and Technology Committee, and other current NOAA employees. Doge was first denied access to the NOAA IT service, but now has access, according to two sources familiar with the situation. Again, those two sources familiar. Doge is looking at anything tied to DEI and whether they have removed anything DEI related from the bulletin boards, including posters and signs. The sources say they also check bathroom signs to ensure they complied with President Donald Trump's executive orders. So they're getting down to some details, right? Now, I'm sure that these Democrats are very pissed off about this. And in fact, here's what Zoe Lofgren has said. Elon Musk and his Doge hackers are ransacking their way through the federal government, unlawfully gaining unfettered access to America's private information and gutting programs people depend on, Lofgren and Huffman wrote in a press statement. Now they have reached NOAA, where they're wreaking havoc on the scientific and regulatory systems that protect American families' safety and jobs. Are they? Are they now? Anyway, personnel changes are being made at the agency. Democrat staff for the House Science, Space, and Technology Committee told ABC News, adding that dismantling NOAA without an act of Congress would be unlawful. Are they there to dismantle NOAA? Probably not. They're the weather people, Of course, they also, they talk about climate change too. The committee investigating the efforts to remove employees or changes that would negatively impact the agency's mission is trying to determine if this is another USAID situation. NOAA has not returned a request for comment from ABC News. As of Wednesday midday, several key NOAA websites are currently down, including one that stores global CO2 level data collected at the Mauna Loa Observatory, the longest-running CO2 data set that goes back to 1958. NOAA's public information officer is at David Skaggs Research Center, which houses the Earth Systems Research Labs, said the offline websites are part of scheduled maintenance and that a power outage temporarily interrupted internet services. So, were they really scheduled for scheduled maintenance? Or, because, that's probably what they're bitching about. And if this is just scheduled maintenance, this is just fluff. Now, during this outage, the National Weather Service office in Pueblo will be performing service backup so that all forecast products and information will be seamlessly available across Boulder's area of responsibility. Other websites hosted by the Global Monitoring Laboratory, Global Systems Laboratory, Chemical Sciences Laboratory, and Physical Sciences Laboratory will be offline until the power is restored, they said. NOAA manages the National Weather Service, the primary source for forecast and meteorological data. NOAA's Center for Environmental Information is the world's largest provider of weather and climate data. Climate scientists depend on the information to better understand how climate change impacts our planet. So that's, in a way, that's it's semi-editorial, but sure, why not? And then Lofgren. Americans rely on NOAA services day in and day out. The National Weather Service warns communities of incoming severe weather such as hurricanes, wildfires, and tornadoes. It provides information to emergency managers and decision makers to support our nation's commerce, including aviation weather forecasts to prevent weather-related aviation disasters. So see how she worked in aviation disasters there? It's so funny how just propagandistic they can be. Look, I doubt that they're going in there to fuck up the National Weather Service. I'm just sorry. I'm saying, Now, in a recent interview with ABC News, South Carolina Emergency Management Division Chief of Preparedness, that's quite a title. The South Carolina Emergency Management Division Chief of Preparedness, Andrew Phillips, said, We're really in communication with NOAA all throughout the year for different events, including hurricanes. NOAA is a vital piece of our communication strategy, said Jennifer Brady, senior data analyst for research at the nonprofit research group Climate Central. Oh, now, let's think about that. They're talking to someone who is the senior data analyst and research manager at the nonprofit research group Climate Central. I wonder how many grants the nonprofit research group Climate Central gets from the U.S. government, either USAID or NOAA or whatever. I'm just curious, how many grants do they get and who approved those grants? The data is vetted and it's verified, so we know we can use it and trust it in our reports. I don't think they're... Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, Gunfox, the end... I was going to stop until I saw this. Wait for it. A former NOAA employee told ABC News that he is concerned that representatives from DOGE will follow the Elon Musk strategy of breaking things now and fixing them later. He said he's worried that NOAA's irreplaceable climate and weather data could be damaged or lost, and that DOGE may follow the Project 2025 playbook. Oh my God! Project 2025 was a plan developed by the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, before the election. The group called it an agenda prepared by and for conservatives who will be ready on day one of the next administration to save the country. Is this part of Project 2025? They say later down here, Project 2025 called for breaking up NOAA and commercializing forecast operations. The document states that NOAA is one of the main drivers of the climate change alarm industry, and as such is harmful to future U.S. prosperity. They added that that is not to say NOAA is useless, but its current organization corrupts its useful functions and should be broken up in downsides. Well, you could have separate functions of weather forecasting and all the other stuff and have all that other stuff in it wholly, in a nonprofit. Put the other stuff in a nonprofit, Anyway. All right. Well, thank you, Gunfox, for all the Hamiltons and all the extra articles. Good morning, Ken and Hotep's in the house. All right, let's try and get to the shit that I was gonna do already. Other things. Eli Manning's trending. Now I wasn't sure why, and it's not a sports show, of course, but Eli Manning's trending because people are saying that Eli Manning is up for the Hall of Fame, I guess. Is that what it is? Since the Eli Manning talk has started to get up again, I'm just gonna leave this here. While it's an older vid, it still holds true. Eli is Hall of Fame worthy and first ballot. So, some refer back to what they call the greatest Super Bowl in history when Eli Manning beat. He's a two-time Super Bowl MVP, by the way, and they beat the New England Patriots back in the day. So anyway, that's all I got to say about it. It's trending, so I usually talk about shit. Okay, let's get into some of these other things that are trending, though. Now, Lego bricks are trending, and it's only because of something that's going on across the pond. Apparently, the Science Museum of London has introduced a tour named Seeing Things Queerly, which has sparked discussion by suggesting that Lego bricks, though their design of having interlocking parts termed male and female might reinforce heteronormative ideas, and this has led to various reactions. So here it is. Lego can be anti-LGBT according to the Science Museum of London, because you've used the words male and female because, you know, the protruding part goes into the indented part, kind of like in the animal kingdom. And so just what's homophobic today? Today, Lego is homophobic somehow. Legos have female parts that lock together, which is anti-LGBTQ. I demand all Legos to be non-binary, motherfucker. Oh my God, it just sounds like an Onion article. I'm sorry. Or not even the Onion. That Onion's not funny. That sounds like Babylon Bee shit to me. Good morning, JB. What's up? I see you there. All right. Also, in the news, Marco Rubio is going to be boycotting the G20 summit in South Africa. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has decided not to attend the G20 summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, citing issues with the host country's policies on private property expropriation and its promotion of themes like solidarity, equality, and sustainability. No. Okay, well, let's see his words. He says, here's Marco Rubio talking about this on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Says, I will not attend the G20 summit in Johannesburg. South Africa is doing very, very bad things, expropriating private property, using G20 to promote solidarity, equality, and sustainability. In other words, DEI and climate change. Oh, so that's what he is. He did say that my job is to advance America's national interests, not waste taxpayer money or coddle anti-Americanism. Wow. So here's some of the replies. You should still go and ask for an immediate refund for all the aid we've been giving. Tim Young, this is what America First looks like. Let's see. Oh, absolutely. Oh, now this person's not happy. Let's see. Oh, because they have a Ukrainian flag in their bio. So, absolutely brilliant, Secretary Rubio, because nothing says advancing America's national interest like avoiding international forums where you could actually voice your concerns. I guess by not attending, you're saving us from the dire threat of equality. What do you say? Equality and sustainability. Bravo, sir, for your unparalleled courage in the face of diversity and climate change. Your absence will be a lesson in anti-Americanism to all. Now, I too, maybe I'm a little skeptical for him not going, but I think his point, maybe he's protesting that it's being in South Africa where some of that really bad shit's going on there. But that's interesting. So a lot of people on the left are ridiculing him, while others. So, for example, Ron Filipowski, isn't he the media Midas touched asshole? Yeah, we used to boycott South Africa for apartheid. Well, okay, and who knows what's going on there now. Then Mike Benz is celebrating, saying, "Wow, what an incredible moment in American statecraft! Bravo to Marco Rubio." Bold message sent here. So there's some mixed reactions. Eric Doherty, Secretary Marco Rubio, announces he won't be attending the G20 summit in Johannesburg, South Africa, and just basically people are just repeating what he said. So that's interesting. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, in the Minnesota House of Representatives. And now this is my state, obviously. And the Minnesota House of Representatives breakthrough. Minnesota House and Republicans and Democrat have ended a 3-week stalemate with a power sharing agreement. Lisa DeMuth, the first black speaker in the state's history, will serve as the Speaker of the House through 2026. The agreement also grants Republicans temporary control over certain committees until a special election demonstrated a compromise to advance the legislative activity. So the Republicans are the first to put a black woman in the speaker position in the Minnesota House, which, I'm pretty sure she couldn't give a shit about her status, although it's, at least some people are acknowledging it. But here's what's been happening in the Minnesota House. So our legislature had a tie for the number of people elected to the Minnesota House. It was 207 and 207, right? But they found in one of the districts in the election that one of the Democrats, which they call the Democrat Farmer Labor Party here, one of the Democrats, they found out, didn't actually live in the district that he won. So he was expelled from the House of Representatives. He's disqualified from representing that district. So it was 207 to 206. So when the new year came about and the new House convened, the Republicans had a 207 to 206 advantage, had one member advantage. The Democrats, being a little pissy about the whole thing, have not shown up for any legislative sessions this year because of that unfortunate discrepancy in the person that won that district. So they've been boycotting, and the House Republicans have been like coming to work, and Democrats have not. And so it's been a big kerfluffle, right? Well, the Democrats, I guess, finally decided that they were going to show up, and then they're going to, because they're going to have a special election in that district, and if the Democrats, if the Democrat wins, then it'll be tied again, and they'll have to figure out their power sharing agreement. Maybe having an even number for seats was a bad idea. Yeah, well, it's interesting because that's not even the right number. It's supposed there's like 6 districts that for some reason don't have representatives now, and we're not sure why. But yeah, maybe having an even number of seats was a bad idea. Yeah, it kind of was. All right, but anyway, here's the new Speaker of the House, and what she had to say here. Let's see what she says.
And thank you for the opportunity to just share some thoughts with you. Our governor just painted a very rosy picture of Minnesota. And while things look good on the surface, I just want to remind you what we are dealing with. Under a full Democrat control in the state of Minnesota in just 5 months. So looking back at last year, I want to remind everyone in Minnesota that $18 billion of surplus was spent.
Yeah.
There were broken promises.
Yeah, our governor
Those
needs to
dollars
go, by
were
the way.
not returned back to Minnesotans in a meaningful and tax relief way. We know that when there is tax relief offered for young families, families with small kids, as great as that sounds, and we are appreciative of that point, if Minnesota wasn't such an expensive place to live and to afford our lives, those things wouldn't be needed to the extent that they are truly needed. In addition to that $18 billion of surplus that is now gone, taxes and fees, our state budget was raised by another $10 billion. We grew government in a way that is unsustainable. You know that our economic forecast came out just a few weeks ago, and there was caution that was expressed by MMB saying caution for legislators and any future spending decisions that are made. We are in a beautiful school that is part of a public-private partnership. We're in beautiful Owatonna, and we know that schools need to be a place that kids can have what they need, that they've got the education.
All right, so I'm going to stop there. But so you get the idea. She's a Republican, and she's let's just say she's very, very talented. I'm just saying. All right, let's move on because I don't want to go through the whole 4 minutes of that. We did the women and girls in sports already. Oh, now let's talk about Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi was sworn in yesterday as the Attorney General, and she got to work right away. But before she was confirmed and got sworn in, there's people upset with John Fetterman for making her confirmation bipartisan. You know how Democrats like to say, oh, we got one Republican out of 200 to vote for something. This is bipartisan. John Fetterman's lone vote for Bondi stirs party reaction. The Democratic Senator John Fetterman voted in favor of confirming Pam Bondi as the U.S. Attorney General, which has led to significant discourse among his supporters and observers. The vote made him the sole Democrat supporting the nomination amidst other Democrat opposition. The reaction on social media ranges from criticism. Well, here, let's just look at a few of the things here. One here, I'm not Devin's mom, moron. That's an interesting name. Says, Fetterman is the result of voting blue no matter who. I blame every motherfucker who screamed this for years. I think she's salty. Someone named Ryan Schilling, horrible take. Oh, here it is. Here's someone who says, what I don't understand about Fetterman is that surely he knows he's perfectly replaceable, right? It doesn't take a particularly special Democrat to win in Pennsylvania. It's not like a case of Joe Manchin where he was the only possible Democrat who could win in West Virginia. Well, wait, whoa, buddy, wait a minute. Didn't Donald Trump win Pennsylvania? That's interesting. Now, someone here says, horrible take. John Fetterman is building a brand that will not only sell and sustain in Pennsylvania, it will flourish. He is not perfectly replaceable by another run-of-the-mill Democrat. Ding! Ask Bob Casey how that went. Fetterman is formidable and may win a purple state by 10 points because he actually tries to be reasonable. Now, here's another. Fetterman betrayed us. Primary him. Because someone said every single Democrat will vote against Russell Vought, the Trump nominee for Office of Management and Budget and chief architect of the ultra-right Project 2025. Manchin out, Fetterman in. I can see why West Virginia put up with Manchin, but I can't believe Pennsylvania can accept Fetterman for buddy up to MAGA. Buddying up to MAGA, he voted for the Attorney General of the United States, like as if that one person wouldn't have been confirmed anyway. Sometimes people are stupid. Anyway, enough about John Fetterman. Let's talk more about Pam Bondi, though. So here, let's see. Breaking, confirmed, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi is calling for the Epstein client list to be released to the public. This is what America wants. Expose the evil. Here she is on the evil Fox News.
Well, we know he was on the plane, not only on the plane a couple times, multiple times. He traveled internationally.
I think this is from a while ago, though.
Internationally with Jeffrey Epstein. And he was on the plane called the Lolita Express because it supposedly had a bed in there where Jeffrey Epstein had young girls. He has been a friend of his, a continuing friend of his for years and years. Contrast that.
Okay, we didn't watch that, but you get it. Now, let's see, what other people say? Oh, this is something. Maxine Waters lives in a $4.6 billion mansion and has a net worth of over $5.3 million on a government salary of $174,000 a year, and paid her daughter $100,000 a year for 10 years. You think Pam Bondi should look into how she managed this while representing one of the poorest districts in California? Well, Maxine Waters, I think her husband owns a bank. So it's not like the family's poor, but it's funny because I don't think she lives in her district either. She has a home in the district, but I think she lives in a mansion just outside of the district that she's representing. It's kind of weird. So anyway, wait, the confirmation of Pam Bondi wasn't about qualifications. It was about politics. Only one Democrat, Fetterman, voted for her. Despicable. She's eminently qualified, proving this is all about politics with Democrats right now. Well, sure. But also, by the way, here's her when she got nominated or got sworn in. We'll play this real quick.
Thank you, President Trump. I've known you for many, many years, and I will not let you down. I am truly honored that you have asked me to take on this role, and I will make you proud, and I will make this country proud.
Thank you. All right, awesome. There you go. All right, I'm going to skip over to an article here, though. Oh, now this is interesting, though. So, as of yesterday, and I don't know if Pam Bondi pushed this or not, but apparently the Department of Justice, which now Pam Bondi's the Attorney General, has agreed to a proposed order to temporarily restrict access by the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, led by Elon Musk, to the Treasury Department's payment system. This decision stems from a lawsuit alleging the Treasury provided sensitive personal data to DOGE, raising significant privacy concerns. So that's interesting. Now, so here it says, this is another breaking. Trump administration agrees to restrict DOGE access to Treasury Department payment system due to personnel data concerns. But there's a reader's note or a what do you call it? A community note on one of these with that information where this says, first, they say breaking attorneys for the Justice Department have agreed to temporarily restrict staffers associated with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency from accessing information in the Treasury Department's payment system. But the community note says, important context, a limited number of Doge associates still has access to the Treasury payment system. The order temporarily stopped the rest of Doge teams to gain access. And then some here says judge appears likely to block Doge from accessing Treasury Department records. So apparently there's still a few that have access. But back to Pam Bondi. Here's another thing she's already done since yesterday when she was sworn in. Here, let's move that to, does it help? No, that's not going to make it better. That's going to make it worse. Let's do middle. There we go. AG Bondi moves to freeze federal funding of sanctuary cities. She's already done this. President Donald Trump's Attorney General Pam Bondi is moving to suspend all federal funding of sanctuary cities. The DOJ directive could impact up to 220 American cities that have some form of sanctuary law in the books, preventing local law enforcement and government officials from assisting federal immigration enforcement actions against migrants who entered the United States unlawfully. Several Democrat mayors and governors have already announced they intend to resist President Trump's nationwide crackdown on illegal immigrants, spearheaded by border czar Tom Homan. Subsequently, the National Post reported on Tuesday that Homan is considering pursuing legal action against New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy after the latter claimed he was actively hiding an illegal immigrant from ICE agents in a room above his garage. I would just... That would be the chef's kiss of actions. The local Democratic government in control of Washington, D.C. is also signaling they intend to resist President Trump's immigration enforcement actions. Quote, the values, laws, and policies of Washington, D.C. did not change on Election Day. We celebrate our diversity and respect all D.C. residents, no matter their immigration status. Well, you can respect them all you want, but some of them are going to have to get the fuck out. Anyway, we are a sanctuary city because we know that our neighborhoods are safer and stronger when no one is afraid to call on our government for help and when our police can focus on protecting and serving, said D.C. Mayor Democrat Muriel Bowser in a statement on a city government website that provides information to aid illegal immigrants in avoiding federal detention and deportation. Look, Madam Bowser, let me just remind you of something. Your status as a city and who controls it can be vastly changed by a small act of Congress. You realize that, right? The fact that Washington, D.C. would be a sanctuary city? I don't know. Juan Frank, wait, what? What did I say? Did I say a name wrong? I don't know. Anyway, so that's crazy. And there has also been some action from some FBI agents. FBI agents filed 2 lawsuits seeking to block Trump's DOJ review of January 6 cases. Why? They're filing lawsuits seeking to block the DOJ from reviewing January 6 cases. I would have to say good luck with that. 2 groups of agents within the Federal Bureau of Investigation filed separate lawsuits on Tuesday in federal court seeking to bar President Donald Trump and the Department of Justice from obtaining the names of agents involved in the January 6 Capitol riot prosecutions. The agents allege that they believe President Trump intends to make the identities of FBI employees who were assigned to the January 6 cases public, which they contend could place them and their families in danger. Really? Plaintiffs are employees of the FBI who worked on January 6 and or Mar-a-Lago cases and who have been informed that they are likely to be terminated in the very near future. No, that's not what's going on. They want to know who is involved in the cases so they can review whether or not the United States government was abusing the power of the government, and whether these cases were done properly. Now, the agents who were and they've already made this clear in another, another directive that no, this is for an investigation. People who are doing, investigative work as ordered, that weren't doing any shenanigans, aren't in danger of being terminated. But they are going to look at whether or not people twisted the rules or whatnot. And anyone who has done anything improper or against the law will be terminated. And Pam Body's made that case. The second case is being brought by the Federal Bureau of Investigation Agents Association on behalf of 7 anonymous agents and seeks a restraining order against the DOJ's acquisition of the list of agents who investigated the January 6 cases. Anti-Trump attorney Mark Zaid is the lead counsel for the claimants. Shocker! Shocker! Meanwhile, the Trump White House has not indicated that it intends to release the names of FBI agents despite claims made in the lawsuit. So far, the only action taken has been a request by the DOJ for the FBI to hand over a list of agents involved as part of a broader department review of partisan lawfare actions undertaken by the Biden administration. So that's going to be interesting. How they can... So they are requesting blocking the department that they work for to review the cases that they worked on. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Oh, man. Unbelievable. All right, let's get rid of that. Moving on. Oh, Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney reared her big, fat, Miss Piggy ugly head. Posting on X, she attempted to engage in political discussion on social platform, mistakenly tagging the wrong Elon Musk. Her post praised America's role in the Cold War and defending democracy. She's mad, too, about apparently the USAID thing. Now, and if anyone named Cheney is decrying the downfall of USAID, I got to think that they've got something, the regime change stuff that USAID was involved in. I'm sure they had their fingers in it. Anyway, her post praised America's role in the Cold War and defending democracy, implying that Musk might be unaware of this history due to his citizenship status. This error led to widespread online ridicule and focusing on her tagging mistake rather than her message. Many users mocked her for the error. So here's what Liz Cheney said. She posted this. Where is it? So, okay, here's what happened. Elon Musk posted this quote tweeted Mike Benz, who says, Liz Cheney, who led Trump's impeachment and the mass imprisonment campaign against thousands of Trump supporters, was spawned out of USAID. And he, I guess, had some... Oh, here it is. Liz Cheney was spawned out of USAID. I don't think the State Department created many jobs in Wyoming, Permanent notes. The University of Chicago law school graduate. Liz Cheney worked earlier in her career at the U.S. Agency for International Development and at a firm headed by Richard Armitage, who later became Deputy Secretary of State. Her post at State, first in 2002 and 2003, then in 2005 and 2007, largely involved Middle East matters, including democracy promotion, aka regime changes. So I was right. So Mike Benz posted that, to which Elon Musk posts just a question, interesting, right? To which Liz Cheney said, damn right, at Elon. I'm proud of what America did to win the Cold War, defeat Soviet communism, and defend democracy. Our nation stood for freedom. You may be unfamiliar with that part of our history since you weren't yet an American citizen. Well, I'm pretty sure when he took his American citizens test, he probably had to learn a lot about that. And sure, we are proud of the fact that we won the Cold War and defeated Soviet communism, etc. But here, Molly makes a good point, Molly Hemingway. He is an American by choice instead of by birth, which is a weird thing to insult someone over. But more importantly, he didn't commit so many crimes against the country that he had to be pardoned by Joe Biden. And so he's got that going for him. Holy moly. Holy moly. That's funny. Let's see how other people ripped on her, because this is good. Oh my God, she's so stupid. She tagged the wrong Elon. Yeah, it's not. She tagged someone that's not Elon Musk. In fact, here it is. Here's who she tagged. Says, just Elon, not the university, not the big twit, just an early adopter. And that person is followed by Barack Obama. So it's somebody else. It's not it's not Elon Musk you tagged. Dumbest tweet of the day goes to Liz Cheney. Congratulations, you absolute fucking retard. Well, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I don't even know. So anyway, there you go. FTG Liz Cheney. Always here. In fact, I'm going to type it. FTG Liz Cheney. Oh, I'd put Leah. Liz, that's a Z. Cheney. There we go. FTG Liz Cheney. All right, next up is, Smurfs are trending. Now, I put this next to something else just because I put all the blue things in a certain category or right near each other. So apparently a new Smurfs movie's coming out, and apparently Rihanna's doing one of the voices and whatever. If you're into the Smurfs, they got a new movie coming out. Now, by the way, in July 2025, Superman, Fantastic Four, Jurassic World Rebirth, and Smurfs are all coming out. So we got looks like the big blockbuster summer season is coming on. But I don't even know why I decided to highlight, but it was trending very high today. So people are excited about the Smurfs. But also Methylene Blue, since we're keeping the theme of blue together, is trending. And so this person, I saw Methylene Blue trending, and I thought some celebrity had a baby. Oh my gosh, yeah, because some of these celebrities, the joke is some celebrities give their kids weird names. And then this person said, when I think about when people mention Methylene Blue, they think of Breaking Bad. But apparently Robert F. Kennedy, someone had this video of Robert F. Kennedy putting some blue shit into his drink. And people were wondering what that was, okay? And who knows? But this person says, RFK is putting methylene blue in his water while flying is prime. We're so back. MB while flying mitigates any radiation burden, protects against oxidative stress, antiviral so you don't catch a cold, boosts autophagy if fasting on a flight. Also, that's a dose I don't recommend, but he's spearheading a movement, so I get it. Anyone know about that? Hello, Select Boy.
Yeah, boy.
I don't know. So anyway, it looks like Methylene Blue. Mel Gibson mentioned it on the Joe Rogan podcast when he was talking about his 4 friends beating stage 4 cancer. It's been found to be beneficial to your mitochondria, cellular respiration, and repair. So now everyone's going to... Now, the problem with this is now everyone's going to go out and try to buy Methylene Blue and really has no idea what it really does. But there you go. Also, what Methylene Blue used to treat... Methylene Blue is a medication that treats methemoglobinemia. I can't even, there's no way I'm saying that word. Cyanide poisoning and carbon monoxide poisoning can also be used for diagnostic purposes. Therapeutic uses, methemoglobinemia, a rare blood condition that prevents red blood cells from carrying oxygen. Methylene Blue is given intravenously to treat the condition. Cyanide poisoning, Methylene Blue is used to treat cyanide poisoning. Carbon monoxide poisoning, yeah, same thing. Tick-borne diseases, Methylene Blue is used to treat tick-borne diseases like Babesia and Bortella. And mouth sores, Methylene Blue-based mouth rinses can help reduce pain from mouth sores caused by radiation or chemotherapy. So so why he's using it? I don't know. I don't know why. Moving on. Democrats are up in arms because the Department of Education faces potential abolishment. That's the summary from X. Reports indicate that the White House is preparing an executive order to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education. This potential move has sparked a variety of responses on social media. Oh, you think? Let's just start with some of the responses. Now, let's start with Vivek Ramaswamy. Shut down the U.S. Department of Education and return the money to the states. Enact universal school choice, merit-based pay for teachers, no cell phones in classrooms, bring back the presidential fitness test, civic education and testing. There's no silver bullet, but that's a starting point. I have a hard time disagreeing with that. Really, the only real function, the U.S. Department of Education really doesn't help education necessarily, but it does do grants and student loans, and it does, like it passes down unfunded mandates on, for example, people with disabilities and things like that. And every state has a Department of Education. It's a redundant agency. Some of its functions, especially when it comes to loans, could be done by other parts of the government. But apparently, there are a lot of people who believe that even hinting that you might take out the Department of Education would destroy education in America, even though the department didn't come online until 1980. Before 1980, there was no Department of Education, and we were number one in the world in education. We had the best, of everything. And now we've dropped down in the 40s ever since the Department of Education. So I can't see now if that's cause and effect, I don't know, but they do a lot of crazy shit at the Department of Education. Some they do some good stuff too. I don't get it. But then you have celebrities like Billy Baldwin. If Trump abolishes the Department of Education, teachers should walk out, shut it all down. Schools, learning, childcare, enjoy the economic chaos that follows. Does he understand that the United States Department of Education, does not employ a single teacher in the United States? Now, they might have some teacher on some committee somewhere or whatever. They don't employ a single teacher in the United States. Why would teachers walk out if you shut down the Department of Education? What would that do? What? Oh, here we go. Let's see. Oh, she's 27 years old, has a corporate job, and doesn't know how to spell. We must abolish the Department of Education. What's this? Let's see what this is. This should be entertaining. Let's just see if it is. Okay, girly, what you got to say?
I'm 27 years old in a corporate job, and I do not know how to spell. Okay? Because I'm from the generation where I'm in 5th grade, and I had a laptop with spell check on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's ridiculous. So now I'm 27 years old, listening to podcasts on how to sound out words and how to spell.
That's crazy.
Mind you, I'm educated. I have a bachelor's.
You're educated?
Ask me how to spell any word. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And if I can't spell, I know my little sisters who are a generation behind me. They can't spell either.
Oh my goodness. That's interesting. I wouldn't even have thought of that kids don't know how to spell because of spell check. It's funny. My 3-year-old granddaughter can spell basic words right now because my daughter's teaching her phonics. She can sound out words and spell little words. That was the same with our kids. We started teaching our kids phonics from the time they started talking. And so that by the time they even got to preschool, they could spell a lot of words. And like they could pretty much figure out lots of words. They even knew exceptions to certain things. Interesting. Oh yeah, and FTG Liz Cheney, damn right. Now here's the White House briefs. This is at the press gaggle. Oh, see, now some people made fun of Leavitt because she said this.
As the mother of a child, I want an education system that helps my child read and write, teaches him math, nothing else in the classroom. And the president is wholeheartedly committed to we can make academia great again in this country.
Now, when she said that, some people said, oh, you don't want to teach them science, you don't want to teach them history, you don't want to teach them chemistry and math and this and that. Look, I think what she was saying, her point was, she doesn't want the schools indoctrinating her child into ideologies. How about learning reading, arithmetic, history, science, whatever, STEM, and practical. I think the schools should teach a lot more practical shit too, like how to, do your taxes or do laundry and shit. And everyone should learn that shit. But you know what I mean? But the main things that they're there for is to learn to read, write, math, science, whatever, history. Those are the subjects that are actually learn something, and not about how to give blowjobs, like some of those books that they've been trying to take out of the schools. I think they should get rid of that. Or this one. Here's the Federal Department of Education pushed and promoted this in our schools. In my daddy's belly. True. So there you go. So anyway, lots of people saying, oh, the president cannot eliminate the Federal Department of Education unilaterally. Well, it kind of got created unilaterally. But they're saying that only Congress can get it. Well, they can, but you can also pare it down into some, manageable shit. So anyway, lots of people, some upset about it. Some people are like, yeah, get rid of it. Let the states do their thing. All right. How much time I got? I'm okay. What was the main subject? I don't remember today. Oh yeah. Oh, now we're into the main topic of these things that USAID has been funding. And so there's a couple topics trending because of this. One, the word stolen, but spelled STOLLEN. And this is one of those things that I'm never sure if Donald Trump does this on purpose or if he just has typos. Because I have typos when I post things. And if, as much as he posts things, I can imagine that he makes a lot of typos. But the word stolen is trending because Donald Trump, this is, where is it? Where's the actual post? On Truth Social. He posted, looks like billions of dollars have been stolen, spelled wrong, at USAID and other agencies, much of it going to the fake news media as a payoff for the creating good stories about Democrats. The left-wing rag known as Politico seems to have received $8 million. Did the New York Times receive money? Who else did? This could be the biggest scandal of them all. Perhaps the biggest in history. The Democrats can't hide from this one. Too big, too dirty. Now, I find it hilarious that because of that one misspelled word, it's one of the hottest topics on X, the app formerly known as Twitter. Everyone talking about, here he is hitting Exact Deltas and telling us to let the, declass again, stolen, whatever. Everyone posting it, but guess what? Every time they post it, what happens? Someone goes and looks at the message. Oh, he's such an idiot. Wait about what? Money going to fake news media as a payoff. So what that's all about is why. Let's start with this one. Let's start with the BBC because that's what in the thumbnail. Okay. So the BBC is trending because they have paused funding from USAID. Now, why was the British Broadcasting Corporation even getting money from the USAID? Recent changes in funding from USAID, a U.S. government agency, have impacted operations of BBC Media Action. Now, is that the BBC or is that one of those organizations that have, do activism? A charity linked to, it is a charity linked to, but separate from the BBC. This has led to public discourse. We question the independence and journalistic integrity of the BBC due to its reliance on foreign funding. Various social media. Okay, I don't care what they're saying. So here it is. Our statement on USAID. And it's funny because this is funny only because the way they started. A free press is essential to freedom and democracy, and 75% of countries around the world do not have a free press. BBC Media Action supports local media around the world to deliver trusted information to people most in need. Like many international development organizations, BBC Media Action has been affected by the temporary pause in U.S. government funding, which amounts to about 8% of our income in 2023 and 2024. We're doing everything we can to minimize the impact on our partners and the people we serve. As the BBC International Charity, we are completely separate from BBC News and wholly reliant on our donors and supporters to carry out our work. Well, wait a minute. Hello, amazing disgrace. We are completely separate from BBC News. Really. So if governments are helping fund 8% of your budget, does that give them any leverage over the supposedly separate entity of BBC News? That's the question, and that really it really doesn't look good. So but what happens though is that now the people who talk about this, if they do talk about it and say, well, why is the BBC getting so much money? And then the answer they can come back at you with, well, they're separate entities. They're not, it's not the BBC. It's the BBC charity that the USAID is giving money to. They have plausible deniability. So Trump's going off this morning about USAID paying off millions to fake news media. And the same thing with Politico. So also we talked about the $8 million going to Politico. I didn't know the full story yesterday, but we've learned more about that today. The thing with Politico, and it's not just USAID, but like several different government agencies have been purchasing these like mega subscriptions to Politico for like $10,000 a month for their employees. And it's not just one, because look, if it's, let's say it's $10,000 a month, okay? Why is USAID spending $8 million on these subscriptions? Because apparently the $10,000 a month for this like super subscription, gets whoever has the subscription all this extra information, right? But $10,000 a month, and you think about it, take that $120,000 for a year, and they have $8 million worth of them. How many damn of these subscriptions are they buying? They're keeping, yeah, exactly, AD. They're propping them up. And it's not, USAID is not the only government agency that is buying these subscriptions. That's insane. That is, and you wonder, look, there's another thing trending regarding this, and it's the phrase, the Great Awakening. With all this controversy and all the stuff that they're finding, you got to wonder if the American, how the American people don't always pay attention to this stuff, but seeing all the chaos and all the protests and whatever, and then they find out what the protests are about. How many of those people are just like, holy shit, what have we been doing? Because I see all these Democrats like protesting on the steps of the Treasury Department and in front of USAID office and whatnot, and there's protests at the Minnesota State Capitol and all over the country, right? All these people are protesting, claiming, well, we didn't vote for this. We didn't vote for this. Well, you're right. You didn't vote for this. We voted for this. You like that phrase, this is what democracy looks like. Hey, guess what? Your democracy voted for this. Your democracy voted for Donald Trump. Your democracy gave Donald Trump the Electoral College and even the popular vote, even though that isn't worth a hill of beans. Your democracy gave you a majority in the House. Your democracy gave you a majority in the Senate. And that is what we voted for. Maybe you personally didn't, but we did vote for this. And guess what? Donald Trump told us everything he's doing right now are things he said on the campaign trail. Now, you want to tie it to Project 2025, but guess what? He's not doing all the things in Project 2025. He's doing all the things he said on the campaign trail, and he's doing it in rapid fire succession. Now, I'm skipping a lot of stuff because I'm not out of time, but There is one thread that I wanted to get to today that I think is important, and hopefully I can find it because I didn't bookmark it. So I don't need this. Don't need to unpin that. Thank you. So let me find it here real quick. Oh, here it is. Okay. This thread here, and I'll put this in a separate link too. In fact, we're going to put this right in front today. Talking about the legality of Doge. And this is fascinating. And then we're going to get out of here. So this is someone named Tom Renz. He's an attorney or something, a lawyer's perspective on the Elon Musk, Donald Trump policy centerpiece known as Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. So he starts out by saying, I inherently do not trust the media, so I decided to look into Doge myself and see what is under the hood. Initially, I was quite concerned about the legality of a new agency, quote unquote, created by executive order, but that, just like everything else, is a lie just like everything else, is a lie put out by the mainstream. The order here is here, and the thread is below. So here's he highlights the executive order here, but I'm not going to get into that. To understand anything about government, anything the government does, is usually best to start with the law or something else I might be able to sue over. In this case, the executive order itself was the thing to see. As you can see, this document, barely 2 pages and certainly not written in legalese, while not a complicated read, the plan was brilliant. Trump did not actually create a new agency. Instead, what he did was repurpose an existing agency, the USDS, into something more useful. So here's what he highlights is this thing here. Section 3, Doge structure. Reorganization and renaming of the United States Digital Service. The United States Digital Service is hereby publicly renamed as the United States Doge Service and shall be established in the executive office of the president. So he renamed an agency that's already exists. Now, the USDS was an Obamacare office created to make government software better. They were essentially software development for the bureaucracy. Trump renamed the United States Digital Service the United States Doge Service, which even kept the acronym. Not only did repurposing an appropriate existing department allow Trump to ensure there was funding for Doge without having to fight with Congress, he also ensured its legality. You see, Trump has the power to set priorities for the executive branch departments, but there are limits. In the case of Doge, Trump clearly had a team of lawyers looking at ways to accomplish this goal legally. USDS was already there and funded for a specific purpose. 44 U.S.C. Chapter 36 is the law that facilitates much of USDS. It's generally about developing tech for the government. This means that focusing on efficiency and evaluating the entire government through the lens of IT that runs it is not really substantially altering the agency, just its focus. At the same time, Trump wanted to bring in Elon Musk and at the time Vivek Ramaswamy and his team for an initial major audit and clean sweep. To do this, Trump's referenced another law, 5 U.S.C. 3161. This law governs the creation of and staffing for what is known as a temporary organization in the government. This group will focus on pushing the Doge agenda and will exist for 18 months, though their work will survive. By including this group as temporary, Trump dodged several potential lawsuits as he may not have been able to create his own new administrative entity on a permanent basis without congressional approval. So then Trump also ordered that Doge teams hired every administrative branch, Trump also ordered that Doge teams be hired in every administrative branch agency. These teams are to include a team lead, a lawyer, an HR person, and an engineer. These teams work for USDS, Doge, but within various agencies. While all of this is part of a software modernization initiative, looking at the software and how things are managed is a great way to find out where there is waste, particularly when part of the mandate is to ensure efficiency. See where it's going here? Now, the last part of the post is all important boilerplate. Trump orders all agencies to support the DOGE initiative, disclaims any other prior executive orders that could interfere with this order, and makes the conflict of laws statement. This was further insulation to make this harder for political opponents to fight it in court, because there's already going to be lawsuits. So the last point on this he makes, I don't like that this has to be done and think the executive branch has far more authority than they should. That said, this order was done very well, and Trump and Musk have really done a good job strategically here. Here's to hoping these guys follow through on the MAGA Maha mandate that we the people have given and do everything possible to ensure the American people have the best future imaginable for our kids. So there you go. It's going to be interesting if the way this is set up is going to be very tough for them to fight in court. Okay. There are several other articles. I don't have time. I appreciate y'all hanging around though. And who knows if we do a show this afternoon to replace the Friday show, but if not, we'll figure out another day to do one. Thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Let me drop these links in the chat for everything we've done, plus a few extras that you have not seen yet. And I guess I'll say it now just in case I don't come back this afternoon. I hope you all have a great weekend. I mean, I don't know what anyone's doing. Who knows if we'll do the dreaded fake Friday Q&A on Thursday. But here are today's links. There we go. And that's it. I got to go. Maybe I'll see you this afternoon. Maybe you'll see me on Monday. Just watch your screen. You'll find out. And watch your notifications. That's it. Got to go. Thank you. My name is P-Dog Knight. And I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight. And thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.